What is up, everybody? I'm back again, this time for one of my favorite mobile games, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. This game is really fun. I really enjoy it. Every time there's a celebration, it just gets me more involved into it. I just love Dragon Ball Z and I really enjoy this game. So, if you find this to be helpful to you in any way, please drop a like and consider subscribing if it really helped you that much. So, I'm just going to get into it and I'm going to give you 10 tips that really help me do things. My first tip, and this is more for like new players, maybe some old players will know, but first tip, all of your SRRs and Ns, you never sell them. I don't have any. You never sell any of these for money. Instead, what you will do is you will go to the Baba shop and you will go and scroll down and make sure occasionally you click these to see if you have anything to sell there. You're always gonna Baba them, not SSRs, only the SRRs and Ns, normal, rails, and super rare. Only Baba them. It's free points. You don't get any Zenny for this. You know, it's just a waste of time. Use it for Baba, okay? That's my first tip. Tip number 2. If you're having a hard time, like, oh, I need to level up all of these characters right here, whatever, all of these SRs, you know, to make it easy, what I like to do is I like to go to slot 5 and I like to put all of the SSRs that I would like to level up over here, so that way I could just go, oh, who do I need to level up that's left? I go, oh, okay, this Gohan. So I hold on the Gohan, and I go to growth right here. Bam. Then I go to training, or I go to awaken. Whatever I need to do is what I'll do. Like this, do this, and whatever. That's my second tip. And my third tip is, as it goes along with this, don't waste Kai. Do not waste any Kai for whatever reason. Don't do it. If you have a character such as Ultimate Gohan, you gotta look at their names. This is very important. You gotta look at their names. You look at Ultimate Gohan, like, oh, okay. Go to training, get this. Once again, this is for newer players, not really older players. Never waste these guys. Never. You only waste them if you absolutely have to. Okay? And pretty much you're gonna I'll get into that in a second. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Giru's guide right here. And Giru's actually gonna help you out. So with Giru, you can just go like this. I'm gonna put in Tech Super. And I'm gonna look through this list and see if I can find an Ultimate Gohan. There's one right here. So this basically means that there's an Ultimate Gohan that I can farm here, okay? Now let's scroll down. There he is right there. So the blue one, right here, stage 9. So you would go here, you would farm him. Now, the way you would do it is you will get him. I guess I'll show you, so I'll just cut to that. You got 2 of them. So something that's very important to remember is a SSR is gonna give him 50% unless he's the same exact character. Okay, so the reason why this guy is not gonna give me 100% is because he's not the same character, but then you're probably asking like, hey, but what about this Gohan right next to him? That is because he is a UR. Now, here's the thing with this. What you would want to do is you want to grab. Now, this isn't a really good example, but you're gonna understand the gist of it. He was an SR, and because he doesn't have an awakened state, he won't become a UR to do this. But generally, you're gonna want to get a Gohan, which I'm not gonna do here because you know I actually didn't know this guy didn't have one. So you're gonna get this Gohan, and you're gonna make him a TUR, and that will make this 100% because he is a higher rarity. And that is how it works. See how I could give him any one of these guys? And it's 100%. I could give him the LR because they're all higher rarity than him. Anyway. Alright, so if you're ever gonna get any stones like this, only get one of these. Primarily, you want this one right here. The middle one, this one gives you the most value. If you actually are gonna spend money on this game. Or you go to, which it's not gonna be here because they're kind of evil, but if you go to the special, it's actually a step up, which they did this on purpose. If you scroll all the way down, you're going to see LR Premium Dragonstone 4, which is this one. Purchase Step Up Dragonstone Set 2, which is this, which means you gotta buy all of these, which is ridiculous. So, like, if you're Big Baller McGee, you want to spend and waste money because you don't want to, grind the game as much. You can just do this, get this, and what you would do is I'm gonna give you the best characters, which it will be these. I would just tell you right off the bat, go this one, Gohan Beast. This is probably the best character to get with that stone out of all of these. In fact, or Bulma. One of them. Actually, not even Bulma. Gohan. He's the only choice. Or this Gogeta. Them. One of them. Well, it's really just Gohan Beast. I still wouldn't say get them. Gohan is the only character here you should be looking at. So yeah, that's my fourth tip. Tip number 5. Try to rainbow all the characters. All the free characters. Like, understand they're free to play. Oh, they're not as good as my LRs. They're not as good as my TURs. They're not summonable units. Some of them are good. And not only that, they give you stones for doing it. They give you stones. You want that. Like, it's always good. And they always make events that require you to have them. Like, you're gonna run into an event one day, or an EZA, really an EZA, because some of the EZAs do this, where you're gonna need this stupid character right here, this Trunks, which this Trunks is actually gonna be good. You're gonna need this Trunks rainbowed out just to fight in the EZA area. So make sure you do all your free characters. You get stones, they give you Zenny, they give you meat, no Diddy, and they give you like all different stuff, like free rewards, like just for doing this. And if you do them all, honestly, it ends up being a lot of stones. So guys, make sure you do your free to play units, make sure you level them all the way up, rainbow them, it's free. This is tip number 6 right here. Although, we're not going to call it a tip, I'm just going to tell you guys, I should have said it along with the other one. Don't waste your hourglasses. Don't ever waste them. It's a waste. Don't ever do that, because you'll end up with a box like this. Instead, if it's a character you know you're never ever going to use, which I'm never ever using any of these guys, most of them are like full hidden potential unlocked. I wait until I get their super attack to 10. I mean, you could go in the story mode and events, you could grind out the characters, see if there's probably a Super Saiyan Gotenks that I can get and feed him and then rainbow him. That's generally what you're gonna want to do. And if you don't want to do that, you take your dupes and you just give them to this one, which is what I did, because all his stuff is unlocked. And that is gonna eventually give me a rainbow character. And once that happens, once I have the rainbow, then I will use the hourglass to put them back, or I'll TUR them. I already TUR these all these people, and this is why I'm saying this, because this is kind of annoying to keep going back and forth. Um, unless you're gonna use the character, if you have no use for them, don't bother reversing them back. Just keep them like this until they're rainbowed, and then you put them back, because then, you know, there's no point in having them in here. Okay? So that's gonna be tip number 6.5. Let's say just 6.5. Tip number 6, do all your Dokkan story quests. I don't care what it is, put on a movie, do something. You have to do all of this. These are all free stones, aka free summons. There's so many stones you get from this shit. I don't want to hear it. That's tip number 6. You gotta do them. Tip number 7. Do not worry about who the best character is. Okay? I understand you're gonna want, like, I get it. You want the best character. If you're a new player, don't worry about who the best characters are. Worry about leader skills. Worry about getting a character that you can use on your team that you can use all the time. You could just abuse them. So a good character that I could compare this to right now are these guys right here. The reason why I'm using them as an example is because their leader skill boosts super class. Doesn't matter what type they are. All super class, key plus 3, HP attack and defense plus 150%, which is actually very decent, okay? This is a great leader skill. Like, if you get this character on your first summon, this is a good start. Because that means you could put any super character on your team, and they're going to get a decent buff from him. It's not going to be the 200% buff or the 220% buff, but it's going to be more than 70%. It's going to be more than 80%. It's going to be more than 77%, whatever the hell else there is. Number 8. I'm going to have 2 parts to this. First one, because this one's going to be pretty quick. Do the growth missions. I personally don't do them because I hate doing it, and I think it's ridiculous. But I mean, I do them, but I don't do them the way like Truth does it. Like Truth, he does this shit all day. I can't spam these missions. But if you do this mission right here, which you can do this one all day, but you're gonna get crappy ass skill orbs sometimes, you can get some good shit, which will help your characters be better. Eventually, you will get level 5s. Eventually, you'll get level 6s. Maybe you'll get 3s. You might get a level 5 bronze, which is probably the best thing you could possibly get. The Z battles. When you extreme Z awaken anybody, you're gonna go to any one of these. Primarily, you want whichever one was easiest for you. You're gonna pick one that, like, for this one, for example, we're gonna look at the leader skill, and it says Potara. I have like a ton of Potara characters, very good characters. So I'm gonna do this, and this will give you statues that give you Zenny. So this is a good way to get Zenny without doing anything crazy. You just spam this, you do this, and you can do it all the way up to level 77. And then once you hit level 77, you end up getting like a title that you can change up here. But, you know, it is what it is. Just do that. Trust me, it's easier than it looks. And, you know, it's a little challenge, a little something to do. Um, if you want to do that, you could try and hit these side missions, try to beat it within a couple minutes and stuff. All right, tip number 9. Don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to have fun. I understand people want to use the most top tier characters in the game. Listen, don't be afraid to use a character you like. You know what I'm saying? I don't always have to use some mega top tier people. Like, you know, sometimes I want to use this Broly right here because I think he's cool. Or sometimes I want to use, um, like these two right here. Um, sometimes I want to use this cooler because I think they're really cool. Like, have fun with the game. Just please. That is the point. Have fun. Use your favorite characters. People, you know, some people gonna talk shit, whatever. Oh, you're using these scrub characters. He's not good. He's not this. Who cares what the fuck they say? Use what you want. Use what you like. If you get bopped, then, you know, you got bopped. That's it. You got bopped, you gotta use someone else. You can't use every character in every stage. That's just not how it works. Even the best characters in the game get killed. Like, you know, there's just different difficulties for each thing. And that's why they have easy A's and super easy A's. So, like, that is, like, so important. They do that. So, that's gonna be tip number 9, right? Okay, my last and final tip, and I think it's one of the most important. Don't waste your stones. Do not waste your stones. Do not try to rainbow the characters unless you're rich. Don't aim to rainbow people. It doesn't matter. They could be 55% or rainbow. It doesn't matter. They're going to do the same things that, you know, if they're able to beat a certain stage, they're going to beat that stage without being rainbow. Okay? If you want to rainbow them and you have money and you don't care, do it. Do it. More power to you. But don't just do it just because you want to be one of the cool kids. Just because you want to be called a whale. Like, nobody really gives a fuck about that shit. For real. Nobody gives a fuck if you're a whale and spending millions of dollars. Like, you're spending $1 million. How do you look? You're spending $1 million to not get what you want. Because that's what happens a lot of times. People end up summoning and spending $10,000. And I know people that do this. They spend $10,000 to try to get this Vegeta, and guess what? They don't get him. They do not get him. You know what you could have did with that 10,000? You could have bought a car. Could have took your wife out if you have one, or husband, whoever the fuck. Could have took them. You could have did something cool. Instead, you're wasting money on the character that you didn't get. Okay, how do you look? Okay, so besides that, I want to also point something else. You need to be careful of what you're summoning on. Usually, my rule is, if it's a top legendary summon carnival, you gotta be prepared to get wrecked. You gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared to not get what you want. That's just my experience, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with this. These banners are not good. The only time they're good is if you see this. Summons 3 available. If you get a free summon for summoning on it, I would say it's a good summon. However, if there is a Dokkan Fest next to it, probably not as good. The Dokkan Fest, you always want to go for the Dokkan Fest. They're just, you have more chances. There's usually better characters that have better leader skills. Remember, leader skills are very important. The Carnival characters all have a 200% lead. The Dokkan Fest characters could have 2 or 3 leader skills at one time. I also want to say this. Let's say, for example, I'm going to actually just use my regular statistics. I do not have this Vegeta. I'm going to use coins to get him, okay? I have everyone else. I got this. 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 I got them. I got him. I got everything. Okay? Now, for example, I'm only missing this Vegeta, right? I look on this banner. I don't have him, I don't have him, I don't have him. I have him, I have him, I have him, I have him. There's 3 characters on this banner I don't have, and there's 1 character on this banner I don't have. This is my rule, and this is my final tip. I saved it for last because this is very important and it's giving me so much success. Always, even if you don't want to sometimes, I'm not saying do it all the time, but at least listen, hear me out. If one banner has more characters that you do not have than the other, you should want to summon on the banner you have less characters on. Because your chances of getting someone you do not have is higher than getting the 1 character I don't have. I have a chance to get 3 characters on this banner that I don't have, as opposed to the 1. Yes, it is a carnival banner, however, sometimes you want to take the chance. And that's why I say, hear me out sometimes on this. You have a good chance of getting someone you don't have if you do get lucky, you know? And that's just the game. Take your chance. But remember this rule. Be happy of the things that you don't have, okay? Be appreciative of getting something you do not have, okay? Because a lot of times you're going to experience you getting the same LR. Like, you know how many people right now is gonna be like, yeah, I got this Vegeta, I got him rainbow. Guess what happens when the Tanabata comes out and they start getting this Vegeta? They're like, damn, I didn't get the character I wanted because I got this guy rainbow. Then how do they look? Like, yeah, you got the character you didn't want because you have him rainbowed, and this ain't taking shots at nobody. I'm only saying this because for a newer player, you gotta understand, you can't always win in this game. You gotta take what you can get in this game. Just be appreciative. If you get a character you do not have, like today, I pulled this Beerus. I'm so happy I got a character I did not have. That's it. I didn't have that character, I'm glad I have him now. As opposed to getting someone you already have. It's always better to have more than to have less on this game, right? So please remember that rule. Just look at the banner, contemplate the characters on it. Like, yeah, is it worth it for me to do it? Are the chances of me getting someone on this banner worth me spending stones to try and gamble on? Because a lot of the times, you will get the same characters. I promise you. I could give you a good example real quick. I got this Trunks on singles and all multiple times. At least 7 times. I literally still have 2 in my box right now. Like I'm not joking. Look, he's right here. There he is. 1 and 2. There's 2 right there. I kid you not. You will get this. And I have him rainbow. This is gonna happen to you. Like this Broly. It will start happening to you after a while. This is what I'm saying. Be careful of where you're spending your stones. I understand it's the anniversary or whatever. There's gonna be a Dokkan Fest right after this anniversary. Don't burn all your damn stones on this. If you get mostly everything, just be happy. You'll have another chance at these characters. It's not like they gone forever. Just use your stones wisely. That's the best advice I could give you. And if this helped you in any way, please, I appreciate a like, comment down below if you want, and please consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. Any little bit helps. Kind of grow. Check out my Twitch. I stream every day this game so far, and I'm having a blast. I'll be streaming basically 12 a.m. EST, usually the time I start streaming at. all the way to 4 p.m. EST. Sometimes I stream later than that. Sometimes I stream at night, but usually at that time. So guys, I thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.